I want to talk to you about why New Year's resolutions do not work specifically for legal nurse consultants and what high performers tend to do differently so that you can set yourself up for success. The number one mistake we make when we're setting our New Year's resolutions is we set unrealistic and vague business goals. Here's an example. I want more clients. How vague and general is that? Or I want to review my cases faster. Okay, but why? And what are you going to do to review them? There's so much ambiguity there. Not smart goals, okay? They need to be measurable. We need to think about a business goal with clarity and with intent. Here's why it doesn't work, because it lacks clarity and it lacks action. You know why it lacks action? Because I said I want more clients, but there is no action step leading to what I'm going to do to go get those clients. I can wish for a new house, but what's it going to take to get the new house? I can want new clients, but what's it going to take to get those new clients, right? Here's an example of what a high performer does. Focus on something specific, meaning I want to acquire one new client in the next 30 days. That's more specific, one new client in the next 30 days. And then 5 action items. What are the 5 things I'm going to do to go get that new client? I'm going to be on LinkedIn every day, doing follow-ups and connections daily. I'm going to do at least 10 follow-ups and 10 new connections every single day. You see how specific that is? That is a heck of an action plan, because now I know what I'm going to do. I know how I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to say, I'm doing this every day. And those 5 cold calls, I'm going to do them on Thursdays between 10 and 11 every day. Remove all resistance and give yourself every opportunity to be successful. You owe that to yourself. Set yourself up for success. That's what that means. It doesn't mean hope and dream. It means do. It means go do it. Daily habits and daily wins. Build a system. So put your phone down and stop scrolling on social media and do something impactful. Habit pairing is truly genius because you naturally put yourself in momentum without any extra or additional energy or effort, because it's your subconscious. One small habit at a time is going to change your entire world. And then you're not focused on a New Year's resolution. You're actually focused on a daily habit that becomes a life-changing resolution versus just a New Year resolution. How you speak your goals, shifting that can be a game changer. Here's an example. High achievers are always outcome driven. Okay. I'm going to raise my hand to this one. I think we can all raise our hand. Most of the time we're outcome driven. Here's what this looks like. I need to make 6 figures as soon as possible. This can lead to overwhelm and overwork and sabotage to strive for perfectionism, because high achievers are going to do everything they can to get to that outcome, but sabotage along the way if they do it imperfectly. This puts you in a place of overwhelm, because now you're overwhelmed with all the things you need to do and you won't do it or let yourself do it or give yourself permission to do it because it's not perfect yet based on your standard. And overworking to make something perfect that likely doesn't need to be perfect, because no one is living or dying as you're growing your business. No one lives or dies by you growing or not growing your business. If I have a process-driven goal, which focuses on me actually doing quality work product each and every time, that 6 figures will come because I will naturally breathe more value into my current clients and create 6-figure clients. Focus on the process to get there then, because then the outcome comes naturally. You're going to burn out, exhaust yourself, and utterly quit, because who can stay that motivated with that much energy all the time? I can't. I don't believe anyone can. It's not about not making goals. It's about what you do every day. It's those daily habits. It's how do you self-propel and put yourself in like this default motivation role without having to consciously motivate yourself all the time. High achievers chase exertional validation and often burn out, where high performers prioritize balance, self-mastery, and long-term success. That personal time outside your business, that self-care avoids burnout and allows you to keep growing and set yourself up in maybe a slower turning wheel. If you put as much energy into that as you do your business, you will prevent burnout. Give yourself an opportunity to win daily on the process, which is the small things you can do consistently every day that, as you continue to do them, naturally build momentum, especially if you pair them with other habits. Naturally keep you in momentum because it's a subconscious rewiring of your brain, which takes less conscious energy and more energy preservation. Focusing on the process and focusing on giving as much energy to your downtime or your time out of your business as you do in your business is also a really dedicated way, truly, to decreasing burn. Am I setting goals as a high achiever or a high performer? High performers focus on process goals. They focus on their performance every day versus just achieving the goal. High performers focus on consistent progress. They build habits. They do things every day, and they know that in due time, the goals, the success, the high achieving goals, the targets will be hit. Focus on the process. Focus on hitting the target every time, and eventually you hit the bullseye. Take time to reflect, because if you don't, you'll miss all the progress you're making. If you become a high performer, the high achieving comes with it. It is a direct result of the high performance. It's all about shifting perspective on resolutions and making small changes that are more impactful on your daily life and for much longer than even a year. I don't want to diss New Year's resolutions, but I want to shift perspective on them. And maybe as a community, we can regain perspective and focus on the process of what we're really aiming to achieve.